guys, working on the 73 Trans Am today. Here's a power steering box I got out of it. I believe this to be the original. Date code showing 019. I believe that to be January 19th. The car was built pretty early in 1973. And I sent this box out to powersteering.com for restoration. I paid the extra money for their dress-up package, and I think really all that is they paint it and maybe put a couple new parts on it here and there. So over here is the original steering box out of my 72 Formula. So it looks a little different. At least this cap piece has got a saginol on it. And studying the casting even looks just a touch different. Pretty much the same thing though. Here's its steering box in my 73 442. This cap piece looks the same as the 73 TA. So this also had the dress-up package done to it. This one had a high ratio steering set put in there, so we'll see how that works out. And this one I just kept the ratio that was in there, which is pretty good. I was going to send this box out a couple years ago to get it rebuilt, but I changed my mind. I stuck it back in. So I basically didn't change anything except I took it out and put it back in. I may have taken the rag joint off and put it back on. The steering wheel was straight when I originally took the steering box off. I think I may have had the steering coupler off and then put it back on it. When I put the steering box back on, the wheel was no longer square when you're going straight down the road. So I don't know if it's a little bit of play in the bolts for the steering box or if I put that coupler on like one spline off. It's really irritating driving a car where the wheel isn't square when you're driving straight down the road. So I figured I'd go ahead and get this thing tightened up, and if I need to, get an alignment, get it all squared up. The steering should be good and tight in this car now with this rebuilt steering box. So here are the rag joints, and I was just looking at the differences. This is the one off my 73 442, the original. I'd have to look around to see where I put the original one for this TA. I'm sure I still have it, but these look pretty similar. Not exact. This one has dimples here. This one doesn't. The backs, it's looking almost the same. The 72 is different, that it has a grounding wire connecting column to the chassis electrically. So I looked for this cord on Ames but couldn't find it. So I'm just going to run this coupler the way it is. Powersteering.com has a service to clean these up, but all he does is bead blast it, and I'm not going to do that. I could clean this up if I wanted to. It's probably perfectly fine. For the 442. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to order another repop one out of Ames for the 442. So this is a reproduction from Ames. You know, I was looking at this, it's like, is that copper there? But I don't believe it is. It's some sort of ferrous bolt. So I'm going to put this on the steering box here. Now the reason I had this out is I was going to do a demonstration that this rag joint can actually go on this input shaft more than one way. But then I realized that this is still bolted on there. I don't feel like screwing with it, so I just experimented with this box. This box is supposed to be shipped on center from powersteering.com. You gotta take this screw out because the screw locks in this groove here. So if I have this flat way off, like say here, doesn't really want to go on. So right there, I think I could force it on. But here it goes on easily. This might be a little easier to demonstrate standing up like this. So there it's not wanting to go on at all. It dropped in pretty far right there. It's dropping in that way too. I do believe that it can go on there more than one way, but I'm gonna take a minute here to try to get it on there correctly. That dropped right on, got it bolted in. I've attached a chunk of hose to that high pressure line, and I got it going down in there into a catch pan. I'm gonna put the suction side here into a bottle with some fresh power steering fluid. I backed up this reservoir too, so this pulley spins. I'm gonna run that pulley over with a power tool and try and flush out this power steering pump. Before I do that, I'll show you this. I tried one of these style clamps to make it look original. and that actually leaked there. So I think I'm gonna just cut that off and use a standard clamp. I'm gonna run a cork through it. So I flushed out this bottle here and filled it up with power steering fluid. I'm gonna try this setup right here. The ratchet setup didn't work, so I had to take the pump out of the car, and I'm gonna try this cordless drill here. Let's see if this works. And I've cleaned the pan so we can take a look at the fluid. All right, I'm done playing with you. You could hear it when this container ran out of fluid. So this is all the clean fluid back here. The front of the stuff is some of the dirty stuff that got flushed out. We pump in reservoir. Somebody stoved in the reservoir at some point trying to tighten it. So instead of grabbing here with like a adjustable, you had a pry bar or something on there. But the thing still works. It's flushed out. I'm just gonna run it. So I put the box back in before putting the power steering pump back in. That helped with the room. I locked my steering wheel on center, and this is all I went back in. So like tab on that rag joint is facing up. I'm thinking it's in there correctly. So if my steering wheel's off when I'm done here, I'll be getting another alignment. With the car up in the air like this, I turn the wheel back and forth and work the air out of the system. Let it get warmed up. I think I'm just gonna grease up the front end here, drop it down, and then it's ready for a test drive. Kind of a rainy day today though, so that's gonna have to wait. So I did that without being able to completely open the hood because it's underneath the 4-post lift. I did it all on the ground. Complete pain in the ass. Reminds me of the pre-garage days. I do have a couple other mini projects like this I'm gonna do to it this summer, so hopefully I'll get those on video. Thanks for watching.